wouldn't be a day if something hadn't happened in the world of Russia and Ukraine, of course, and these peace negotiations. Ukraine was apparently willing to agree to a 30-day ceasefire, but Russia is on the verge, although I don't think they've given an official statement yet at the time of making this video, to say that they will reject that 30-day ceasefire because it just gives Ukraine a chance to regroup and rearm. The same could of course be said for Russia, but they've had several big gains on the battlefield and now they don't want any sort of ceasefire, which is what I said would happen the other day, because now they've got no reason to come to the negotiating table. The Russians also don't trust NATO, they don't trust Europe because of the Minsk II agreements. If you remember, not one inch closer to Russia, NATO and all that stuff turned out to be a load of crap because NATO has continued to move further. The EU wants to expand its influence into Ukraine, and that has also angered Russia, and whether people like it or not, that is one of the catalysts to this invasion of Ukraine. Not the only one, I'm not saying I like Putin, or he was right to do so, but it is one of the reasons this happened in the first place. There is a rumour that Russia would accept a 7-day ceasefire only if elections were held in Ukraine. This could also involve Ukraine pledging neutrality, and that would mean not joining NATO, not joining the EU. And as the Russians put it, ending the genocide of ethnic Russians in the country. Now there is no denying that Russian speakers have been under attack from Ukrainians for some years, but that also happened after Russia had invaded the Crimea, so the bad blood has been there for a long time. Let's not forget, this conflict did not start just 3 years ago. It started back in 2014. If you want to go back to 2008, by the way, you can go back to Georgia and say that this kind of thing started then, and the world failed to act. These are of course negotiating positions by the Russians. They would probably move a little bit on some things, but that's even if they come to the table at all. If you're winning on the battlefield, why would you come to the negotiating table? That's this honest truth about this matter, and I'm not so sure that the Russians would.